of our dot product series, our last one, and now we're gonna go through some more properties and we're gonna do some harder example questions. So please watch my previous video to get a better understanding of the fundamentals of dot product. So yeah, now we're gonna look at three different properties. The first one being the distributive property of a dot product. Well, to better understand this property, I'll be giving an example. So this is very similar to other properties in multiplication or addition of whole numbers, integers, whatnot. So this you will multiply both of these v and w, then we get this. The second property is for two vectors u and v, if we have a scalar, then u dot v, this is the same as ku dot v, which is the same as k b dot u, basically the same thing, and also the same as kv u. So yeah, this is pretty much it. So the third property is when we encounter unit vectors, for example in the form of u equals 3i plus 2j and v equals 5i plus 6j, then to find their dot product, all we need to do is multiply their respective components. So 3 times 5 is 15i plus 2 times 6 is 12j. Then once we find this I and j actually must be removed. Then we add this 15 and 12 to get 27. So that's how we find the dot product of unit vectors in this form. Now we're gonna look at a bunch of example questions based on our previous property. So the first one is we will be finding the cosine of the angle between two vectors. So as you can see, when we're given this two vectors in the form of unit vector, what we first need to do is find the dot product. So before that, let me write down the formula. So guys, I'm gonna give you a few more minutes to do this question. Okay, you should be done by now, but first let's find the dot product. So the dot product, like I showed you before, it's gonna be 2 times 2. It's gonna be 2 times 2, which is 2 times minus 2, which is minus 4, plus 3 times 3, which is 9. Minus 4 plus 9 is going to be 5. So this is going to be our dot product. Then we will be plugging in the numbers, but first, here we're not given the magnitude, so let's quickly find the magnitude as well. So the magnitude of u is going to be square root of 2 squared plus 3 squared, which is 4 plus 9, which is equal to root 13. So I did the same thing with u and v, and I got both 13. So we're gonna plug in the numbers next. So when we plug in the numbers, we're gonna get u dot v is obviously 5 over cos theta, 5 over root 13 times root 13. This will equal to 5 over 13. So cos theta will be 5 over 13. So next we're going to do a bit of a tricky question. So let's get started. So let's do this question. We are given the norm of 3 and the norm of u and the norm of 6. And we're also given theta, which is 60 degrees. So we're asked to find the magnitude of 3u minus 2v and the cosine angle between 3u minus 2v and v. So what we're going to do first is look at what we're given. So we are asked to find the magnitude of 3u minus 2v. The trick here is that we can't find the magnitude directly. So what we need to do is we need to square this vector right here. We do this because of one particular property that I talked about in the last video, which was if you square the magnitude, it's the same as multiplying the vector by itself. So if we multiply the vector by itself, then we're able to find this. So square root of this will be our magnitude. So yeah, that's why we're doing this. So what we're gonna do is 3u minus 2v squared. It's gonna be equal to 3u minus 2v times 3u minus 2v. Next, we need to expand this. So when we expand this, we will be getting, once we find this, what we need to do next is simplify it. Well, obviously, we know that u times u is u squared, so it's gonna be, then here we need to add these two, so minus 6 is gonna be minus 12 u times v plus 4 times v squared, or the magnitude of v squared, just like this. So obviously we already have the magnitude of u, which is 3, so 3 squared is going to be 9. 9 times 9 is 81. Then 12 minus 12 minus u dot v plus 4 times v squared. We obviously have the magnitude of v, which is 6. 6 times 6 is 36. 36 times 4, 144. And then first we need to find the dot product. So to do that, let's do that really quickly. Magnitude times magnitude, 3 times 6 is going to be 18. 18 times cos theta, cos 60 is 1 over 2, so it's going to be 9. So this is going to be 81 minus 12 times 9 plus 144. So adding everything up, we're gonna get 177. So this will be equal to this right here. So let me equate the equation. So the magnitude will be 3u minus 2v. Magnitude is going to be 117. Next, we're asked to find the magnitude the cosine angle between 3u minus 2v and v. So 3u minus 2v is going to be equal to 117, the magnitude, and the magnitude of v is 6. We already know this, but we need to find the dot product. So we're actually asked to find the dot product, the cosine angle between 3u minus 2v and u. My bad, guys. I'm kind of sleepy right now, so that's why. But bear with me here. But yeah, that is still the same thing. It doesn't really change that much. If you guys want to try it out with yourself, you can. So as you recall, the formula will be cos theta is equal to 3u minus 2v over magnitude of 3u minus 2v and magnitude of u. So as you can see, we don't have the dot product for these for the top part, which is 3u minus 2v dot u. So we need to compute that first. So 3u minus 2v dot u is going to be, so this is going to be distributed using the property. So once we distribute it, it's going to look something like this. So first we have to compute 3u squared plus 2v dot u. So u squared is going to be 3739. 9 times 3 is going to be 827 plus twice of v dot u. We already calculated the dot product before, which is 9. 9 times 2 is going to be 18. So 27 plus 18 is going to be 45. Then we're going to basically do the question, which is 45 over root 117 times 3. I know I said this is the final part, but in the next video we will be doing the review exercise. The time is going overboard right now, so see you guys in the next and final, hopefully final part.